smoking a custom built, but it's a CB Stub. So these were made from smaller blocks of wood. Maybe lesser blocks, I don't know. But they're smaller pipes, but they have that nice custom built rustication. So CB Stub, imported briar. That's it for nomenclature. It's a sitter. Smoking some of Ahmad's cigar blend. So this is good. Thank you, Ahmad. I appreciate it. Kind of perfect. I kind of like a cigar on a sunny day. Why? I don't know. Kitty, kitty. Gonna come up and say hello? So it's Saturday, and I'm just kind of exhausted after a long week. So thank goodness for the weekends sometimes. I love my job, but sometimes it's just sort of exhausting. Beautiful day here. I saw it was going to be like 107 in Tucson. So I really like the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, cigar blend is good. It makes a lot of smoke too, usually. Cigar blends seem to, for some reason. So not to, I'm sitting out here in the backyard. People doing things all around, traffic roaring up on the road. That's kind of why I'm here instead of out and about. I want to join them. Ugh. So it's been kind of a political week in the U.S. because there were the Democratic debates. They weren't debates, come on. It does actually let you see somebody and hear somebody, but it's just like a passing first impression. You know, some of those names you've seen in the newspaper, and it's like, who is that person? I don't know. And it'll all have to be weeded down seriously. And politics is such a game. But one other thing I did was I ordered a copy of the Mueller report. So I'm not that far into it. It's pretty big. And there sometimes is a lot of redaction. Sometimes not much, but sometimes quite a lot. Sometimes whole pages almost are redacted. Oh, there's some. Which is kind of amusing in a way. What is not amusing is that it is so clear and well proven that the Russians were right in there meddling, you know. Was there collusion? Well, you know, we'll hear Mueller's take on that on July 17th when he goes before Congress. I don't think there'll be anything new, but most people haven't read this. You know, they've just got the soundbite version from whatever their favorite news source is, you know. And I'm not making this a political video at all, because I'm not. Politics is politics, and it's not necessarily nice ever, no matter who's doing it. It's necessary, it's how it works. But I'm sure the U.S. has spied on governments and changed the elections, and remember banana republics? Yeah. So, I mean, you know, we're probably the worst offenders of all. But what the Mueller report does, I think, for me anyway so far, is prove without a doubt that the Ruskies were in there actively taking advantage of people's naivete, stupidity, willingness to be stupid, and just general human nature, and making the most of that and influencing the election. And apparently it's happened in Germany and France and the UK, you know, so so I think that's wrong. That's all. I just think it's wrong. Yeah. But there's a lot about politics right now. I'm really amazed and disappointed at. But that's nothing new, the whole political scene. I remember I got kind of involved in politics actually just out of high school. I was a candidate to our county convention, and it was the Republican county convention. Since then, I'm much more broad and not, and I was kind of libertarian at the time. Just the purity of it appealed to me. But, you know, then you grow up and you realize that government does have a role, and yeah. Anyway, I got a taste of just even that low-level, sort of semi-rural county in Colorado politics, and I didn't like it. It was smarmy, and it wasn't actively bad. It was just how politics happens. And it just was something I didn't want to be a part of. So I try and be part of my community without being political, even though that's where a lot of the change happens. But there's a political part. Anyway, oh God. So I'm doing where I work is really progressive, and for employees, but also for folks in the community with addiction problems, they offer some mindfulness classes. So, and it's open to staff. So I've been doing that, and I like that because it encourages me on Friday afternoon, once a week, to take an hour and just get out of your normal rush world. And I've come to realize, we've done a little self-evaluation in there, and what I want from that is simply to see the world as it is, without a bunch of filters, without a bunch of make-believe, oh, I wish it was this way and I'm mad because it isn't, and oh, I just can't look at that, you know. I just want to see it for what it is, and just be there with it, you know. To me, that's my goal, actually. Seems so easy. And yet it isn't. You really have to kind of work at it. You know, I would just like to see things without precious self-conceptions or romantic ideals or angry political focus, you know. So anyway, that's my goal. And that really helps. Just chilling down. You know, it's meditation really, but it's really just shutting up your monkey mind. Well, not shutting it up actually, just allowing it to just be out there doing its thing, and just take a step back and see it doing its thing. So it seems so simple. And also that idea that if you're not present now because you're reliving the past or you're strategizing about the future, then you're missing the present moment. And the present moment is pretty awesome. Yeah. So, and that's the only real moment. Everything else is a construction, a fabrication, a fantasy. Yeah, so you're just not even in the world when you're doing that. Anyway, Ahmad, thank you very much. That cigar leaf is just the thing. Just the thing for a day like today. And you know, cigar smoking for me, I mean, pipe smoking, probably cigar smoking too, is another way to get into that sort of meditative state of mind. So, yeah, it's a useful thing.